It's Quant Trade Edge, and today was a rather excitingly whippy day in the S&P, thanks to the monthly jobs number and the sensitivity that everyone has to interest rates at the current time. Just wanted to go through kind of some pre-market homework and how I would, set up for this, and looking at where we were trading overnight. The key support that comes to mind is this level, which is where the FOMC rocket took off. The low of that was 46.99. And then I just drew a couple of other key laterals across, just very simple, nothing, it's not rocket science. You could draw this one if you want, but got undercut here a little bit. And this is a 30-minute chart. And I just want to show you how perfectly things played out on a shorter time frame. So going into the jobs number, we had this divergence forming here. 1, 2, 3, let's see, 30, 38. This one's lower, so this would be your third push. Third push, second push, first push. And then we got this move up here, and technically, if you're just a computer counting swings, this swing up was greater than the previous swing down. And we know that just because from this same point, this actually went a couple of ticks higher than here. So as this came down, I was looking for a higher low, and when it turned up, I did catch a little scalp in here. But then I did get out because we're waiting for the news. And the news caused this panic low right here, which was essentially a trap that it set. And when we took, you can look at this trap as a, 2B if you want to, here. We got these couple of closes below. Once you took this back out, you've left the trap and you're off to the races. That's one way to look at it. The other thing, I've just gotten good at these extreme news happenings where all the flush happened in this bar. The next bar could not make a lower low. And then the bar after that started going higher. If we drop it down to a 1-minute chart, there we go. This is on the 1-minute chart. And put on a fun little P1 indicator, which I had on this morning. You see the same formation that was on the 5-minute, you essentially have on the 1-minute, where the second minute went and made a new low, then we could not get any lower. So this is an oversold bar. And then we have 2 green bars that do not close below. These can technically tail below and it wouldn't affect the P1 signal, but they have to close above the low of that first bar. And then your trigger is actually taking out the high of the second bar. So I got in over here, was definitely sweating it here, but decided to go ahead and add when we got down here because the stop was so tight. The stop was just below this 47.02. A failed P1 pretty ugly usually. Usually get another leg down. So I knew I didn't want to be involved if the P1 failed. So that gave me the confidence to add in here. And then as we took off, we just came and retested right here, this 47.08 level, or 47.07, I think, 47.08. And we just kept going higher. And you'll see how these resistance lines that I drew out earlier, get rid of that. 47.27, we paused and digested and went higher. And then 37, we had a bit of a pullback, bit of a whippy action there, and then we went higher. And we blasted right through 47, and it actually, and got to the next level of around 57, 56, and 47 served as a really good support for a while, and we bounced between 57 and 47 before 47 gave way. 36 didn't really help. But actually, let me go back to a 5 minute. The other thing I wanted to point out that I do on jobs number day is I will, a couple of minutes before the news is released, I'll just check, the level. We were at 47.20 roughly. I went and looked at the ES futures options, 47.20 call, 47.20 put, and the straddle was about 27 points. So from 47.20, that takes us down to 46.93. So when this started failing in this level, I also had the confidence that we did not go down far enough to create a positive feedback loop. So that's another reason this would be more apt to bounce, in addition to that P1, in addition to this bar not taking out the previous low. Those are all the reasons for this part of the rally. Now, doing 27 points above got us right to this key resistance of 47.47. And when this, thrusted through there, that, gave me some hope that there could actually be a positive feedback loop to the upside. But that didn't end up playing out. It just sort of fizzled around here, and then we spent the whole rest of the day chopping. Big move down, back up, back down, back up. Overall, I still view this as constructive and bullish. One, because we left a massive trap here on, and I bet the volume's huge. This is, it was on news. So, typically on news like this, we have a good amount of volume there that got trapped. We got this reflex bounce up. After 4 days down, you're not going to go straight up. You're going to have to digest it a little bit. But all of this looks very reasonable. This is another little mini trap down here. We'll see how Monday takes it from here. But the daily candle did close green, so they were battling it out. The bulls and the bears were battling it out. But for the day, the bulls barely won, closing above the open. So that was what I had in the S&P. Now, gold followed a very similar pattern to the S&P, where on the news we had this crap out right here that just left a trap and went the other way. And what made this more interesting was also that we had an inside day. So breaking below this should have led to a lot more downside. But the fact that it didn't, it came back up and got back into the range of here, you trapped everyone that sold below that low thinking that was an inside bar. What do you do on an inside bar? When you get out of the mother bar, you go in that direction. So this really trapped, I believe this is the mother bar low, and you basically just trapped everyone in there. It's be really interesting to see if there was a P1 here. No, that would not be a P1 the way that was structured, because this bar, these two are out of the range of this bar. But either way, same thing happened here. The first 2 minutes went down, and then we could not get below that low of that 2 minute bar. We bounced, put in a higher low, started going higher. Once you take out the high of that news bar, that's when you start, really thinking this was a trap. Anyone that sold on this news is now underwater. And then we had other, I guess I put on the HL day. We, then we got into the range of the inside bar, and then we had a lot more to the upside there. So that was just an interesting play on gold. The inside bar breakdown failed, and we got a good amount of rally off of that. One other interesting thing I wanted to note was natural gas. So natural gas, I missed that last part up here. So natural gas is on an extended run. So I just went out long, somewhere in here I bid based on some short-term pattern. But what's interesting was we dipped and dipped and dipped. and we touched the low of day exactly at 7:55 in the morning. And as we came off of the low of day, I just went ahead and added, because we are still in an extended run. This was still an inside day, so it had no meaning. And then what was really interesting was at one point, am I in the right? Gee. Okay, I could have sworn that this touched high of day exactly, PDH exactly. That is not what this looks like here, so possibly just losing my mind. But that was just another interesting play, how natural gas went down and went all the way to PDL and then came all the way back to PDH on that. So anyway, I wanted to also take a moment to introduce our Discord server. Let me see if I can pull it up. We've been experimenting with it the last few days, and by we, I mean Madge B and myself. Turns out, unbeknownst to me, as I had this 1.5 year vacation from trading, Madge B had been watching all my videos. He'd recreated a lot of the spreadsheets that I showed, recreated patterns. He started actually sending me patterns every day in email, all the patterns that he was catching. And honestly, I think he's become better at this than I am. So we've been working together to put this out here. And with I'll get the link and I'll put it in this video here. But basically, when you log in initially, you will only have access to these things down here. Below are the member channels. And, we definitely want you to start here and, rules and disclaimers, must watch. Really want you to understand money management and using the R system of tracking wins and losses. I think that's really important to do. And then here's where you can subscribe on the subscription page. And we're going to, accept the first 50 subscribers. Then, and these are going to be free channels for anyone to participate in. General chat, free analysis. This might just be where we post something once in a while. News, and price alerts. And these price alerts are typically previous day high and previous day low on a handful of futures markets. Because as you know, in our 4X pattern, which is our flagship pattern, crossing PDH or PDL is what starts the clock on finding the shorter term pattern. On the members channel, we're separating these out because we figure people sort of trade certain instruments. So you've kind of got ESNQ, CLGC, SIHG, DAX, FTSE, equities, Forex, options, and then we just had some member lounges. And lounges are typically for just chatting. Trading is a lonely sport, and just non-trading related chat. Try to keep it in the lounge. In the other channels, people are going to be looking for trades, looking to learn. And then over here, what we're going to do is, we're starting a price action library where we are tracking patterns that we've tracked, that we've seen, and in setups here. For example, here, this was an 8-bar hoagie that was about to break. So we put that up in real time. On CL, we've had a handful of patterns. This is just part of our testing. Obviously no one was in the room from December 11th on when we started posting these. Same thing in NQ, same thing in gold. That was a hoagie there. Now, real-time analysis, what was really interesting today, and the VXX is something that I like to watch, and I like to see the first 75-minute range get taken out to the downside if we're going to have a real rally. And right around the time ES was topping, this VXX was being stubborn. It wouldn't go and make a new low. And that was one of the things that helped me get out, up in that range, just seeing that this would not continue to break down. And then this ended up spiking to the upside, from 1540 to 1580 is significant. It's almost a 3% move. So just other stuff that we'll put in there. So the format of this will change over time, but we do envision having a section where we post our homework every night, and then also having like a question answer, live question answer type sessions where people can ask us questions. We can put up charts, and then periodically doing classes. And we haven't decided if we're going to do them live or if we would just record them and post them in here, since people are on different time zones and probably have different time commitments to when they could watch a class. But that's what we're looking to do in here. So if you are interested, please do go ahead and sign up. And the link will be in the video. Anyway, that's all I have for you tonight. Have a good weekend.